Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, Pete Funk, thinking right out here in my lab with the sun glare getting. I'm trying to beat the sun before I go down. I got one more to do, I think. So this is it. I'm about to wrap it up again. I appreciate you tuning in. Writers in 25 would live by storytelling, story with a message, message a story for life. These are life lessons I'm giving. You tuning in, receiving them. We got a good thing going. Let's do this. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, knowing yourself a little bit better with knowledge of self. Right thinking is a way of life, and that's what this is. Mental and through mental and spiritual discipline, daily putting the work in, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka knowing thyself. That's my mission. I'm still on it. You know how I do. The question I'm gonna ask it again. You know how I do. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard that. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. I can teach them. Tune in. That's why I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and believe that they know, dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows but know not that they know is spiritual sleep. I can awaken you. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. I got knowledge of self that awake you. Yeah. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thing is know thyself. And to my yacht be true. Today, I want to get across the message. Hope y'all get this concept, understand it. Right thinkers, let's talk about. I'm gonna take you some Masonic information. Really, it's called speculative knowledge over operative knowledge. What is he talking about? Glad you asked. That's the part about teaching. I'm about to enlighten you to something. Hopefully you get this message because it's a good one. It can help you out. It's all about thinking. Now, as a master mason, I've spent over 20 years of my life. I taught what we call speculative masonry, knowledge to build your consciousness, to make you think at a different level. Mm-hmm. And what it was is the same tools that a mason used to build the edifice, the buildings, the mortar and brick. We use those same tools to better ourselves into that building that people will respect and admire. Again, as a mason, we couldn't solicit. To be one, you had to ask one. We didn't ask you to join. That's what the membership, what the well, that's not, I ain't going there, but the idea is the concept is speculative over operative. And I mean that not over meaning better, just meaning speculative, you're going to use it mentally. You're going to conceptualize it. You're going to put it in a mental concept and aspect. We teach that. That's what I did for 10 years. Now, as a right thinker, but the opposite of speculative masonry is operative masonry. The ones who actually worked in the mortar, use the tools, those same tools use what we call a more noble and glorious purpose. But that's what speculative concept is all about. Speculative knowledge is mental knowledge, aka spiritual knowledge. I didn't know that then. I don't know that. See, I'm bridging that gap. All the knowledge I've been acquiring, I'm finding a common thing. Knowledge. Thinking. That's why right thinking is important. If you're thinking wrong, or if you're misguided, or have a misunderstanding or misinterpretation of the lessons, you're never going to get the full effect of the lesson, of the message. If you misunderstand the message, you didn't get the message. Right thinking philosophy is based on speculative and operative practice daily until you master it. You have the thought. The thought is the speculative concept. The operative, you put that thought to use. As a mason, I didn't use the tools physically, I used them mentally. But if I was a mason physically, did I know how to use my tools mentally? They just know how to use them physically. So you got to have both understanding. That's what speculative and operative means. To have understanding for both, to think and to be able to do, put into effect, so to speak. I know how to use my speculative knowledge for a more noble and glorious purpose. Again, I know how to build myself. I've done that. I show others how to do it. Again, when I didn't know spiritual knowledge, all I had was Masonic knowledge. Nobility is the manifested speculative knowledge in life. When you walk upright, you're respected. People see you. You walk You're noble. Yeah, that's what the idea was. They call him nobleman. Okay, but I know other side is noble WRIGHT. Because he was knowledgeable and had understanding, they called him nobleman, but that's not a lesson. Let's do the spiritual. Speculative knowledge is what? The hidden understanding of mental message for all those who practice that understanding. We knew what we were doing. We hide messages in stories. We gave you allegorical stories that had a message in it. Perceive and understand the story, you get the message. That's speculative masonry. It's pretty much like right thinking because it's all mental. All right, I tell you stories again. That's psychomythology, stories that make you think with a hidden message, a hidden meaning in the message. That means all those who's following the concept will understand. Those who don't say, we know what he talking about. That's the purpose. They call the Egyptian mystery simply that because the Egyptians didn't let them in on what they did. Hence, mystery. I know they let me in. Alright, here you go. Oh yeah, okay, right thinking is the practice of speculative and operative concepts in life. You can think it, then you can make it happen. That's the key. That's what right thinking is all about. That's why I live it. You don't just read it, study, and learn it. You have to implement it. That's the operative part. A lot of us are operative operators anyway. You get up every day and do a job. You go every day and do what you need to do. That's operative. But are you thinking? Are you conscious of the things you need to know for yourself about yourself? Then lies the difference. That's where right thinking comes in. Okay. Now, mental knowledge is based on your ability to what? Comprehend the messages that's set forth. Spiritual truth is speculative experience and is operative with knowledge. When you think it, when you learn it, when you conceive it, now you can perform it. Knowing God, meaning you understand, you have experience, and you know why and what the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. Believing in God, meaning you hoping and wishing and praying that I hope I'm right, I hope I'm right. That's crapshoot. I don't gamble with God. Now, watch this. Where we at down here? Okay, to know God is what? Mental, aka thinking right things, knowing thyself. When you thinking right, you understanding of what God wants from you, you perform the duty, you devote your time and effort. I call it spiritual discipline, holding yourself accountable to do the right thing for all the right reasons. If it's godly, that's the right reason. If it's to serve the purpose to help somebody, that's the right reason. If it's for you to glorify yourself, not the right reason. That's not godly. When you start serving self, you take God out again, you serve the ego. A lot of people don't conceive that, but that's the point. You need to understand that. Where we at? Okay, next one is operative knowledge is hands-on, actually doing something or using the tools physically. Again, when I use a 24-inch gauge in masonry, they use it for measuring. They taught you speculative masonry how to use it to break down your day. These are things that become speculative conscious. Speculative knowledge is breaking something down from a mental aspect and using it to your benefit. I'm an on-time person because I know how to break my day down to 8-hour increments. That works for me. However you want to do that, but the concept is you're thinking, you're manipulating, you're understanding to do what's best for you. But the rules are the same with everybody. 24 hours to break them down any way you want. Your choice. Again, that's the operative part. I don't lay brick in the real life, but I can build myself with the same tools that they use to build the building. Again, that's speculative masonry, speculative knowledge. Okay? The working tools are the same. I just use them for different, like I said, a more noble and glorious purpose, to build myself to be a better person. I taught many brothers how to do that. Okay? Now, operative masons is building edifices, nice buildings. We see them all over the place. That's their job. That's what they call them, traveling men. Once you run the job and did your job, professed, mastered your craft, you went there, proved who you was, signed a token, got your job, got your money, job complete, you're moving on. Hence, traveling man. And if you're in search of knowledge, you travel for paid for work. You're in search of knowledge, you always head east, young man. West is death. It's another lesson. All right, let's go back to the side about that. There you go. Now here you go. If you can build a building, your Let's see. You should. Okay, if you can build a building, you should know how to build yourself. But some operative masons aren't really speculative masons. They just building stuff and just doing it. But they're really contemplating what they can do for themselves. They'll build a building and won't build themselves. That's another lesson, right? Moving on. Here you go. And next one is the last one. I'm about to wrap it up again. I appreciate you tuning in. Operative right thinking philosophy is what? Manifesting what? The speculative concept that you have in your mind. You materialize it by using them physically and bringing them to life. It's called manifestation. That's what God created the world on. He felt in his heart. He had in his mind. He uttered and it became. They tell you, own it, man. Like all that, I ain't got time for that, but I understand the concept. That's all. I got a little different concept. Simple. All right, here you go. Operative is the heart. Speculative is the mind. Put them together. Heart, mind, coherence. There we go. So no matter how you label it, how you call it, what name you give it, it's still the same thing. If your heart and mind ain't working together, you ain't got the God connection. Okay, you're never gonna reach enlightenment. Being ignorant or just having one won't get it there. The yin without the yang means nothing. Nonetheless, all right, here you go. Operative masons are good builders at buildings, but they're poor self-builders. A lot of good guys build a building, but they just as dumb as a bag of rocks, but they have a skill. Some people relax around their laurels and just do that. That's fine. Everybody not in the light. Everybody want to fly high. Everybody want to take off and get close to God. Some people satisfied being just who they are and doing what they're doing. Don't have a problem with that either, okay? Until judgment day. Here you go. Speculative masons, watch this. They're good at building themselves, but I'm pretty sure I can't go out and build a building. Just saying. But if I was taught, if I was trained how to lay brick, I can do that. Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means. I gotta go. Party's over. Downgrade. I don't know what that is. Okay. I'm about to wrap it up again. Appreciate you. So where we at now? Right thinking philosophy teaches you both operative and speculative knowledge. That's spiritual knowledge. Okay. Last one. I can build buildings. Yeah, I can build myself. But I can build right thinkers the same way. Tune in, stay with me. I got you. Use what I give you. Trust me. Build yourself. I did.